Have any of you ever thought about what we could do as a species to really improve or just do something really cool? Well, I've thought about it a little bit. The first thing that came to my mind was space. Now, I know what you're thinking. We've already been to space. We've been there, done that. What do we need to go to space for? Now, to that I say, it's cool. And I'm talking more about colonizing a space body. For example, the moon or a planet like Mars. I think this would have an incredible amount of benefits. And also, just picture this, in the future, your grandchildren or great-grandchildren or however many generations down the line are living on a planet or a moon or something in space. Isn't that just kind of crazy to think about? But it's very plausible. And also, back to the benefits I was talking about. Obviously, I'm no NASA scientist or engineer or anything even close to that. I'm still got a whole another year of high school left after this. But I did do a little bit of research on the matter and did some investigating. And I think I found a lot of benefits that you will also agree with. So, for one thing, the moon will be a great place to solve a lot of engineering problems. For example, in this post I found on leaps.org, which was written by this guy named David Warmflash, he talked about some of the benefits of moving stuff to Mars, or not Mars, the moon. Talked about so for example, he talked about solar panels. Solar panels would be really nice to move to the moon because there's a lot of space up there, obviously, and you'll be able to make it thinner because of no atmosphere and stuff like that. And then also another thing he talked about was factories. Factories would be a great thing to put on the moon because you wouldn't have to worry about the emissions from them because there's no atmosphere to mess up or pollute. So it would just be a great place to solve some of those engineering problems, and then we'd have more room on Earth and all that stuff would be moved to the moon. Another thing I read in a post about moving some stuff to the moon and stuff like that from NASA actually wrote it. They talked about more of like the scientific side of things where there's still plenty to learn from the moon, and if we go to the moon and colonize it, we'd be able to figure out more about the moon, about Earth, and just about the solar system in general, just by investigating it and finding out more about it. And then last but not least, based on what I got out of reading a post made by Scott Newman on a website called npr.org, colonizing a space body would also just be a huge step and would be super inspiring to future engineers or inventors or anything like that. And that might be the push that they need to really go into the subject and do what they want to do. And it would be a huge step for humanity. Now, those are just some of the reasons. I'm sure there's tons and tons more out there. But those were just some of the main ones I found and thought were really interesting. And there's just so many positives to moving stuff to the moon or to Mars or trying to explore space more. I think just it would be such a good move to really solve some of those engineering problems and inspire people, future generations, and it would just be a great idea. Now, what I'm going to leave you guys with, just so you can really see where I'm coming from, I want you to think about this. Next time you look up into the sky on a beautiful starry night, just remember that one day we could be up there with those stars. We could be flying around, we could be investigating space, sky's the limit, is what they say, and the sky is limitless, so remember that.